Here I am after so many years, hounded by hatred and trapped by fear. I'm in a box. I've got no place to go. If I follow my mind, I know I slaughter my own. Help me, I'm the prisoner. Won't you hear my plea? I need somebody, yeah, to listen to me. I beg you, brothers and sisters, I'm counting on you, yeah. Black babies in the womb, shackled and bound, chained by the caveman who keeps beauty down, smacked on the ass when they're squalling and wet. Heir to a spineless man who never forgets, never forgets that he's a prisoner. Can't you hear my plea? 'Cause I need somebody, Lord knows, to listen to me. I'm a stranger to my son who wonders why his daddy runs, yeah.
Peace and love, family. Welcome to the NEPPC podcast. I'm Brother Frank, and I'm with former political prisoner.
And I do hot as well.
Today's episode, we focused on Pan-Afrika, what her legacy is, and what does it mean for Black women in International Working Women's Month. Pan-Afrika, she's small in size, but she has the heart of a giant. She's 4'11", and yet the fight that she's taken up for the last 40 years plus is extraordinary, because on August 17th of 1996, Muhammad was good as dead. You know, the death certificate had been signed, and that was his scheduled day of execution. But she was a key figure in organizing people, because he's nationally and internationally known. And, you know, this was a challenge to injustice, and people stood firm on that. And we want to talk about Pan. What does she mean in 2024 as we go through another day of recognizing contributions of our women, of Black women, in International Working Women's Month? And we have a duty to perform when it comes to recognizing our sisters' contribution to our liberation, you know, our right to be self-determined. I do hot Islam.
Yeah, peace and love, brothers and sisters. We salute Pan-Afrika, you know, a warrior sister. This is a sister who is a general in our fight for human rights and justice. This is a sister, you understand, who you know, gets on the microphone, you know, and puts a warrior spirit in masses and masses of people. She got the message of Muhammad Abu Jamal to hundreds of thousands of militant Black people, you know, and the system understands the power of the people. I'm always told the masses that the people have power. And this was the power of the people that stopped, that killed the planned execution of Muhammad Abu Jamal, planned for Marcus Garvey's birthday, August 17th, 1982.
1996, bro. It was the planned execution of Muhammad Abu Jamal, August 17th of 1996.
Yeah, sorry. I got that. 82 was another year. That,
82 was when he was sentenced.
Yeah, 82. All right. All right. Sorry about that, folks. But you know, inshallah, I'll be 100 about everything else. Pam talked about how Judge Sabo told the jury on July 1st, Judge Sabo told the jury, you better come with a very fit, quick, or you won't be able to enjoy your 4th of You Alive celebrations. So they came back on the 2nd with guilty. On the 3rd, they came with the death penalty. You know, and like I said before, it was the power of the people that turned that around. That's very, very monumental. Pam has done great work locally, nationally, and internationally for human rights. Some of her she involved in, for the last 4 seconds, the Jailhouse Lawyers Convention, which organized by Muhammad Abu Jamal, the Answer Rally in D.C. For Palestine, the March on Washington against police brutality, and the anti-war demonstration. That's one of many, many events that Pam engaged in. You know, she was responsible for the freeing of the Move 9. You know, and she continued to work tirelessly. If you hear this sister talk, you know, this sister will put the warrior spirit in you, you know, and you know, brings that spirit to Philly, the so-called city of brotherly love. They claim Philly is a city of brotherly love, but the case of Muhammad Abu Jamal and other cases, you know, completely contradict that myth. You know, the injustice, the prosecutor and of course misconduct in his case. You know, but they broke many laws and went against many statutes to try to murder Mumia Abu-Jamal. And so we're crystal clear now, you know, on who he is, and many of our brothers and sisters have learned his lessons, legacy. You know, it is relevant to mention the context in which they persecuted Mumia Abu-Jamal. Right now, we see in America that there is a war which amounts to genocide against Black literature. You know, all over America, they're coming at you know, the teaching of the truth about our Black history, about the crimes, you know, of America committed against our people. You know, and this is the motivating force in them wanting to execute Mumia so badly, because he exposed the truth about America. You know, so just like there's a war on Black literature today, which is a form of genocide, you know, carried out by those who have conducted genocide against our people. You know, this is something that should hit hard, to hit home, you know, with our people. You understand? As we struggle for real human rights, for real justice, you know, and this can only come about, you know, as has been exampled over and over again, through the power of the people, through the power of the people out in the street raising hell. Pam said many times at the courthouse, Pam said, we'll tear this blankety blank down, you know, and that was the spirit of the people. I was at a demonstration with Pam one time, and we were walking by, and some workers on a building threw something down, and Pam looked up at them and said, if you throw down one more item, we'll climb on there and throw you off and throw you down on the ground. You know, this is the warrior spirit she had that you know, generated in the masses. And you know, we salute this sister. We talk about warrior women today. There's a great history of Black women, the warrior spirit in the Black women, Black warrior queens, and surely Pan-Afrika is prominent among the Black warrior queens. You know, like Frank said, small in stature, 4'11", you know, but got a heart because all outdoors. And when she speaks, you know, she fills the heart of her listeners, you know, with that will, that determination, that fight, you understand, to go forward, you understand, by any means necessary, you know, to bring about justice, you know, through the activism and the continuous struggle, the undying spirit of liberation in our people, which has brought about everything that Black people have ever gained in this country, and never given us nothing. Everything we got through fighting, you know. So we honor and respect the generalship of sisters like Pan-Afrika. You know, Pam, you know, jokingly talked about the days when she wore red, white, and blue every day, and wore a blonde wig. She said once at a demonstration against police brutality against youth, the police beat up, or several things. She was beat up. They snatched off that blonde wig, and she ain't wore it no more. And like it was in Vermeer that said that he was kicked right into the Black Liberation movement. That the police kicked him right into the movement. So the police snatched off that blonde wig, and you know, she started wearing red, white, and blue, and then the blonde wig started wearing the natural hairdo. You understand? And put revolutionary ideas in her head when she took off that blonde wig. You know, and the police helped her take that blonde wig off. You know, they always you know, become their own enemies by exposing their true nature, exposing the true nature of the Philadelphia police, who are some of the most vicious pigs on the face of this earth. You know, they call Philadelphia the city of brotherly love, you know, but we see that it is a city of intense hate, you know. So we're dealing with reality now, you know, and this reality is saying that we're going to change this world.
But one of the things that I wanted to add on to you is that it's very important to understand that Pan-Afrika was never comfortable with injustice. Right? She was to the point where she was driven to take action. And that's one thing that we have to ask ourselves. Are we comfortable with witnessing injustice? Mm-hmm. And if we're truly uncomfortable, what are we doing? See, Africa's example is one that we must emulate, men and women, right? Adults and children, and even elders, right? Because you still have life left. As you're an elder, you still have life left, and you still have to think about what are you going to contribute to in terms of the advancement of a people, especially young people, right? Because you have to live how society has labeled you for the duration of your life. You're Black, you're in America, you're oppressed, you're exploited. You have to ask yourself, what does that mean? How do you deal with that? What's your relationship to exploitation? You either accept it or not. What's your relationship to oppression? You either accept it or not. And Pan definitely did not accept oppression. She did not accept injustice, or she does not accept injustice, and she does not accept oppression. And she's still committed to the work. And that's why in 2024, as we recognize International Working Women's Month, we recognize Black Women's History Month, we have to look at our sisters who are out here doing the work, who have been doing the work, who have a body of work that we need to really look at seriously and ask ourselves, how are we emulating that? I think when I look at Pam and I look at see her in the street and give her a hug, and I'm showing respect for her about being in the street where she's at doing the work. And when I'm not around her, I'm committing myself to doing the work, whether it's with the December 12th movement or it's with the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition. Somewhere I'm taking up a position regarding advancing an idea amongst people. So that's when we talk about political prisoners, we're talking about captured freedom fighters, and we're very clear that our political prisoners deserve the chance to come home, that we have to stand on solid ground. We have to have 10 toes down and commit ourselves to being an organized group of people, to being disciplined and focused. That's why we provide you with our number, 347-679-3936. Again, that's 347-679-3936, because we want you to come aboard. We want you to support the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition, get involved with the Northeast Political Prisoner on whatever, Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition on whatever level that you are willing to do. You know, we have various talents. You can contribute to that. You can write to a political prisoner, build a relationship with a political prisoner. There's some plans of us going to visit a political prisoner. When that's done, we'll speak on it. You know, I don't like to speak on things until they're done. So, you know, we got to look at what we're doing, and we got to bring it to the people who are viewing. We ask that you subscribe to our channel if you have not. Endorse the channel by encouraging others to subscribe, share with at least 10 people. Donate $1 at our Cash App, Sefu Sankofa, SEFUSANKOFA. Again, that's SEFUSANKOFA. Let me know what you want me to do with your money. Do you want me to put up some posters? I'll show you how to put up the posters. Do you want me to give it to a political prisoner? I'll give it to a political prisoner, and I'll just give you information back regarding the receipt, and let you know what I'm doing with the money, so we won't be accused of mismanaging your hard-earned money. So we just want you to understand the seriousness in which we're doing this work. So please, if you're viewing this podcast for the first time, please share with others. If you're on TikTok, share it. If you're on Instagram, share it. If you're on Facebook, share it. Let's get this word out to anybody where possible. And we have to always, when we talk about political prisoners, what does that mean? A political prisoner are people jailed on charges related to their resistance to oppression and repression, and targeted by the state for their political beliefs and or actions or activities, right? And I think when we start looking at that, and we look at the history of political prisoners, the history of captured freedom fighters, we look at our Harriet Tubman, we look at our Nat Turners, we look at our Frederick Douglasses, and now fast forward to 2024, when we are dealing with International Working Women's Month, and we're dealing with people like Pan-Afrika. She embodies Harriet Tubman's spirit in 2024. That fire in her voice, that fire and her passion to release U.S. held political prisoners. And I think that, on this very day, at this very time, we need to honor her in deeds and not just words. Because anybody can say, I respect you and I'm thankful for what you're doing, but what are you doing, right? Stop taking the easy route. Commit yourself to some action. Commit yourself to activities. If you're a part of PTA in your child's school, have Pan-Afrika or somebody that represents Mumia Abu Jamal speak to a class. Tell a class about Mumia and let them know that they have a obligation to write to Mumia, to take a position when it comes to Mumia, so that he don't die in prison for medical neglect. He comes home to his family, so his family could give him love and care. When I think about Pam, I think about just seeing her in the streets, seeing her passionate about Mumia, letting the people know that they had to be involved. I know she spoke at a church one time and she talked about Jesus, right? Many people are recognizing Good Friday. They're recognizing this is a holy time for people of the Christian faith, so-called Christians. If that's your faith, I respectfully salute you on that. I hope that it does as good for you as possibly could, or it has the potential to doing. But I ask you, what was Jesus Christ? Was not Jesus Christ a political prisoner? And if Jesus Christ was a political prisoner, if you respect that, then you should respect political prisoners down. So Pam had a platform, and she was speaking about Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ being a political prisoner. And I think that, if you haven't seen that, you should see that, so you could get further information about the reason why it's so important to fight for our political prisoners to get free and to not let them die in prison. So when you are a person of faith and Ramadan is here, and what message would you give to people of Islamic faith as it relates to their responsibility to political prisoners and get them home?
Yeah, well, I was just struggling, with my fast yesterday. Yesterday, I got more hungry than I had been in a long time. You understand? And my mind was trying to play tricks on me to say, you're sick, so you can break the fast. But I became so determined. I developed some very, very powerful thoughts in my head. Fight it. You understand? And I fought against this intense hunger, and this is the type of spirit, you understand, the type of strength that fasting brings to you. So this type of strength, you understand, has to be dominant, in everything we do, in every aspect of our personality. This strength, this determination, this struggle, this fight, you understand, against so-called great odds, it ain't no great odds because the enemy is weak, the U.S., the soldiers in the U.S. Army, pound for pound, the biggest cowards on the face of this earth. So, my message to the Muslims, you understand, as you fast, to think about power in your being, fighting hard, you understand, against that hunger, you understand, to feel yourself growing inside, and for those who might find themselves in a military situation, that this is the spirit of the soldier, you understand, to stand up against any enemy, no matter how big and tall it is, you understand, with no knowledge that you can win. Pan-Afrika, 4'11", stood up against the so-called most powerful nation in the world, you understand, stood up courageously, you understand, and created soldiers, created a war atmosphere, you understand, and was successful, Also, right now, she's struggling against the state's plan to execute Mumia by medical neglect. So the fight goes on, So and also I tell my Muslim soldiers, you understand, to obey. You understand, with the hadith that says, "Do not kill women, children, the aged, the civilians in war, and some people in the Hamas, where they say that they kill some civilians, the settlers, armed settlers, they call them civilians. But every time that they speak, they use that, to get support. What happened on October 7th. So remember, when an enemy makes war on you, to obey the saying of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, do not kill women, children, or the elders in war. Do not kill civilians in war. You understand? When you're fighting a war of self-defense, so be strong. Do not anything make you weak. Keep strong ideas in your mind. Make your mind an atomic bomb against, the most genocidal, most evil system in the history of the world, the most murderous system in the history of the world that Pan-Afrika stood up against. So stand tall, and understand that in the spirit of the Muslim soldiers who fought against enemies, 1 against 10 and 1 against Rome and Persia, you understand, that the struggle continues, and ain't nothing gonna beat us. And nothing on earth can beat us. Anything that comes into your life, you understand, if they try to make you a slave, we're gonna be victorious, and that is the Ramadan message. Ramadan will make us strong. Right on. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Excellent point, and very important that we deal with people of faith, because you have an obligation, right? You claim to be something, then you have to prove that. And I think that in order for you to prove that, not only to people, your peers, but also to the supreme being that you say that you are worshiping, that you're appreciative of. And I think that, that has to be expressed in how you deal with what is unrighteous, how you deal with injustice. And our political prisoners has took a firm stance against injustice to the point where they no longer amongst us physically, right? They're incarcerated. And when I say physically, I mean that they don't have the ability to meet with us when they want. They don't have the ability to do certain things as they are supposed to be able to do. And I think that, we need to show respect and honor that. And we claim to be something regarding our faith, and that needs to be expressed concretely. It needs to be expressed in our actions. So we're asking that you share this episode, that you can contact us at our contact number, which is 347-679-3936. Get involved in the work to free U.S. help political prisoners. Take some time out and invite to a political prisoner. There are a number of organizations that are doing the work. We have the National Jericho Movement. We have the Northeast Political Prison Coalition. We have the ABC Federation. We have the Spirit of Mandela Coalition. We have the People's Senate. We have these organizations that are very serious about freeing U.S. held political prisoners. And cash app us at Sefusankofa, Sefusankofa. Let us know how you want that money to be used. Our political prisoners need they need money for their lawyers. Their families need money. They also need money for commissary. They need money to get certain material that they need while they're incarcerated. We can get that done. Just let us know what's your point of view, because I know some people are hesitant to be associated, affiliated with a political prisoner, and I understand that. But we have a position to take, and we'll do that for you. But we all have to take a position when it comes to our political prisoners, and we can't be on the side and watch them die in prison. Bad enough when they do come home, they only have but so much life to live. Life expectancy is 70 and 80s, and they've already been incarcerated for 40 plus years. So that's more than half their life. And we have to be very honest about that. It's not the most pleasant thing you want to say, but it must be said. And that's why, this platform is very serious. That's why we do it consistently. Whether it's one person or 100 people viewing this episode, we have to get it out. So we ask that while you watch this episode, share it, make it real, put it out there. Let's continue to get the ideas out about political prisoners. continue to fight injustice wherever it stands. You know, we invite those Palestinians who have political prisoners that they want to speak about on our platform. That's why we have it here. So if you know anybody who's been a Palestinian grassroots organization that would like to come on our podcast, you know, we welcome you. It's the month of Ramadan, so I think right now, you know, we want to get that Islamic support. You know, Christians have their holy day too, and we want to get Christians on this platform. If you're of Christian faith and you want to speak about Jesus Christ and how he is a political prisoner, then we invite you to do that, because we make this platform for political prisoners. So keep that in mind, that it has to be geared towards that. You know, we don't want to deviate off into something else, because to do that is to provide our political prisoners a disservice, and we're about servicing our political prisoners, treating the environment for them to come home. And this is something that Pan-Afrika is very serious about. I remember we had the rally for to lift the sanctions on Zimbabwe, and she was there. And I was like, wow, you know, I always associate her with Mumia, but to see her there, lets me know that her work expands. Yes, her work expands beyond that. But you know, that was commendable, because now I see that, okay, she's where she needs to be, and I need to be where I need to be. So whether it's here or talking about political prisoners, or being in Queensbridge dealing with grievance support group, or being out in the street with the Civil 12 movement or the Stop the Killing campaign, you know, wherever there's pain and suffering, that's where I'm gonna be, and that's where. But I'm not gonna be the only one. There's gonna be other people there. So I'm showing solidarity, which is action and practice around an idea. Right? You got to make the distinction between sympathy and solidarity. Pan-Afrika had more than sympathy for me. She had solidarity. She said he's the political prisoner. He's going to come home, just like she did with Move. Right? You know, the state killed those children. The state killed those members of Move.
11 people.
Exactly, including children. And you know, that's disheartening. And then you know, they had the bones, and then they had the bones at a university, and they were doing experiments on the bones. So it's like, you know, if you really look at this, this is happening during the time that we're living in, and this is things that they would do, the state would do during the times of our enslavement. You know, as Africans. And you know, we got to look at that, and we got to really be bothered to the point where we're going to take a position and get involved. So that's very important that we do that. You know, so when the name Pan-Afrika comes up, you know, put her right there with Harriet Tubman, right? Because she had skills, and she had the way to articulate an idea that she could do anything with her life. She could be out there somewhere representing a number of clients, getting a whole bunch of money off of her skills, but yet she chose to take a position and to fight for U.S. held political prisoners. So, brother, those are my closing remarks. You got any closing words, brother?
Yeah, just very briefly. You know, you would mention what's happening in Palestine. You know, this is a example right today of the evil of this system. Israel knows that it is murdering babies. You know, it's murdering innocent people, innocent civilians, and America knows that the weapons it sends to Israel, the money that it sends to Israel, you understand, makes it possible for Israel to murder children. There was over more than 30,000 people, innocent civilians, murdered in Palestine. 60% of them are babies, you know, and the U.S. knows this, and they continue to fund Israel. And then they throw some crumbs. They commit genocide. Then they throw a few little crumbs, and we're supposed to be cool. You know, we're supposed to, you know, dance and sing and do the James Brown, because they throw a few crumbs while they send massive amounts of weapons to Israel to murder us, to murder our children. So we have to understand that this is the nature of the enemy, and understanding the nature of this enemy means that you got to be 1,000% strong, 1,000% powerful in your being to stand up for justice, to stand up fearlessly as Pan stands up, you know, as our political prisoners stood up, you know, and our political prisoners understood the evil of this system and they fought against it. And so more of us need to join this the ranks of those who stand up righteously, you know, for what is just and for what is right against the evil of a system, you understand, that is genocidal in nature, you understand, that murders babies, you know. So, you know, we got to deal with reality. We can't live in some myth, you know, thinking that these folks are all right, and if we, you know, love them and kiss them on the cheek, you understand, that everything is going to be all right. We got to deal with reality, you know, and that's politics. That's political. That's a political situation. So we must all become very, very political, hot in our hot hearts about politics, you know, and the strive and the struggle and the need, we're going to win. Right on.
What's the call?
Free them all.
What's the call?
Free them all.
What's the call?
Free